at 4.
Oof.
So that should be interesting. The 4-way I'm in at 4 p.m. will include Bentizi of Bentizi fame. Oh, looks like our runners are starting.
All right. So essentially the three main mechanics of the game, with the variety of gimmicks coming up, are it's jump, climb, and dash. Jump is jumping, not really much explaining. Climbing is you climb a wall until your stamina goes away. And dashing is just you dash.
All right, the bird has taught them how to dash, and now they're ready for their speed to be unleashed.
Yes.
Dashing is the main way in this game to build up a lot of momentum on your own, and it's usually done by dashing and then jumping to keep your speed in the air. And we're going to be seeing a lot of variations of that technique done in various ways to speed up these players as we go.
Yeah. Especially coming up with Forsaken City, which is all essentially just hypers and jump dashing.
Yep, the players start off right away, showing off the various speed tech in the game. We have the hyper dashes, where you dash against the ground and then jump to give yourself a huge horizontal boost. We have vertical hyper dashes, or wall bounces, where you dash up against a wall and jump off of it. Basically just a lot of dashing and jumping to move very fast through these levels.
And they're both on the same run, but Hexblaze has a bit of a lead as of right now.
This game teaches you early on about using momentum from other sources in order to go fast yourself. These traffic blocks or zippers that move along a track can add their momentum to yours if you're grabbing them or on top of them.
Yep. Millay dying and retrying constantly. Is it jitters or is it just bad?
Racing jitters is very real, especially on the first couple levels before you've really settled into the muscle memory of the game. But Millay does finish up Chapter 1 with I believe that was a 122. I couldn't quite see that properly.
That is
which
a 122.
could be a lot better. Could be a lot better for a top runner like Millay, but still pretty decent.
And now we're moving on to Old Site, which introduces the varying gimmicks of dream blocks and the doors, the weird doors, and Battlein. Battlein we'll talk about later when we get to it.
This chapter basically starts with a dream sequence. Madeline is dreaming right now. Hence the strange atmosphere, the weird backgrounds, and these dream blocks, which are not quite realistic.
But we get to see them again later on in the game.
Millay now entering the Battlein chase. Battlein, the dark aspect of yourself is chasing you by about 3 seconds.
Yep, it's a delay of 3 seconds.
Here are some lock switches. Millay has to touch every one of them in order to move that block to get into the next room.
In the first couple of rooms, it's just 1 and 4, and that's pretty much it.
Some pretty expert weaving in the various Battlein clones there.
Definitely one of the more useful tricks within the game.
Hexblaze just a few rooms behind.
Yep.
Millay now finished with the Battlein fight. There's no more danger in Chapter 2 after that point. But there is quite a challenge in moving through these next areas, going as fast as possible.
Yeah, the springs. Those springs are a little annoying. In this next coming section right here.
Very nice hyper control from Millay getting through this awake section.
Yep.
Didn't get caught on any of the ledges. Moving at almost full speed the whole way. Very nice. Hexblaze now
Using
entering
both
Awake.
wave dashing.
153 old sight for Millay, an excellent time.
That is a very, very good time. I think he got over the jitters.
I think so. Millay now entering the Celestial Resort. Another big difficulty spikes in this game. We're going to
This
see a
is
lot of
probably one
cycles
of
with the Dust Bunnies.
This is probably one of the biggest difficulty spikes in the game.
Yep. And Hexblaze is
Especially-
closing off Chapter 2 as well now.
That was a...
I didn't catch the time.
Didn't quite see that either. But
Millay moving quickly through the reception area of the hotel.
Yep. And coming up close to the huge mess section.
Some excellent music in this chapter.
Yes, definitely.
All right, Millay has a cleared reception. She just talked to Mr. Oshiro, the ghostly administrator of this hotel, and now he's onto the big mess. This huge cluttered area is called the big mess, and Millay will now have to clean it up one item at a time. There are 3 different routes he has to go.
The first route is usually bottom route, correct?
Yes, so we generally do bottom, top, and then middle, just because of the convenient location of Mr. Oshiro after each section, because you have to talk to him in between each one.
I think that was the developer intended as well.
Many things in this game are, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Unless it's something like a spike jump. I don't think that was very well intended.
Not intended, but also not a mistake.
It's a good glitch.
Hexblaze moving through the big mess now. Getting to Oshiro in the middle as Millay clears the second button.
Oh, and Millay getting caught on some of those books.
Yep, this is a pretty annoying section to move through, try to go quickly.
Yep, and now Millay is on the last section of the huge mess.
Nice cycle skip by Millay there. Oh, nice spike jump by Hexblaze. Just a little speed tech that's used in a few places. It looks like you're jumping off the spikes. What you're actually doing is jumping off the wall.
Yeah. It's a weird little glitch.
Relvoy asking me to get some people hyped up for our run later. Yeah, sure, that'll be a great race. But let's see some hype for these runners right now.
Yeah, Millay coming off into this next coming section right here.
Millay just did 4 clean hypers across that big room and ended with a death warp to teleport back to the beginning of the room while with the key still in hand.
Yep. Millay has, yeah, the retry thing with the key.
Millay is now being chased by angry Mr. Oshiro now. She has to escape him and get to the edge of the roof without being hit by him.
This is one of the easier sections, in my opinion. It's just to be a little unlucky in order to get hit by Oshiro.
It does feature some very long screens, especially at the end, though. That could be very punishing if you die.
It's a long and arduous fight.
Millay now entering the last screen of the Shiro chase. Hexblaze still working his way through the elevator shaft. Very nice entrance strat by Millay there. Looks like he's going to make it. And that's it. A sub 5, 450 resort. Very, very good time.
Extremely good.
Millay definitely showing his top runner credentials here.
Absolutely.
Hexblaze going for the, didn't quite get it. That quadruple hyper there. Having some trouble with that.
Also coming on Golden Ridge, correct? I'll take the,
Yep.
I'll take the big mechanics here.
Sure.
Circles, and which send you a dash distance, and then you can let go by using your dash or just letting the bubble do its thing. There's clouds, which bounce you very high, and wind, which can either be from in front of you or from behind you, giving you either a slight advantage or slight disadvantage depending on where the wind is coming from. But I don't think Millay is going to be very phased by that.
Yeah, the wind is definitely one of the most notable parts of this level. Because really get in your way, especially later on when it gets very strong. With this speed tech, you don't have to worry about the wind as much because you're moving at fast speed through everything.
Yep.
Nice auto-scroller skip by Millay there, using the momentum of that moving block to add to his own momentum for his hyper dash and clear that without having to hold on to the block.
Yep, and I can't exactly see everything happening because of lag on the commentary stream.
Yeah, the wind is definitely bad for bit rates.
Yeah.
Millay now on one of the longest auto-scrollers of the game. It is possible to skip it as a human, but just barely, and I wouldn't expect anyone to try to pull that off in an actual tournament race. It's just extremely difficult.
Unless it's Tej.
I don't even know if Tej would go for that one.
Tej would go for everything.
That's basically task material.
There's a little bit of a meme in the community saying Tej is an AI.
Alright, Hexblaze finishing up the resort. And Millay now on the cliff face, which is the last section of Golden Ridge, featuring some very strong wind. Wind strong to the point where you barely can make any progress without dashing forward.
But Millay seems very unfazed by it. Able to dash through some of these very long rooms.
Hybrid right on top of that snowball to keep going.
Very good strat right there, actually. It's a little bit of a manipulation in order to actually use some of those snowballs to your advantage.
Yep. So Millay has definitely solidified his lead over Hexblaze here, just finishing up Golden Ridge as Hexblaze gets started.
Yep. And we're going to move on to the temple. You mind taking the controls on that one?
Yeah, sure. Mirror Temple, definitely the spookiest part of the game.
Definitely.
Getting a little cramped in here. And then in this next screen, we're going to see the dash blocks for the first time. These are blocks that move along a track, and they move when you dash, anytime you dash, so you have some control over them. And then we have these red bubbles that are kind of like the blue/green bubbles from Golden Ridge, except they'll continue as long as they can go until you cancel out of them or hit a wall.
And here comes there's a little nifty skip here using a hyper dash to skip getting a red bubble from across the couple of rooms that we've got.
Yeah, missed mentioning that one. Maybe we'll get it when Hexblaze judges it. Ooh, nice fast strat for that room. Avoid having to wait too long for that block. Millay now entering a developer-intended secret shortcut to avoid having to use a key.
Which is usually to get the door open, but you can also use it for the spoopy little secret that they've got over there.
Very long horizontal room now with the red bubbles. He's almost through. And now upwards towards the mirror.
I think Millay
Hexblaze having some trouble there. He's going to try to save it, and he got it.
Millay's just gonna try and go for a PB.
He seems to be on pretty good pace so far. Here we have Millay playing briefly as one of the Seekers. This is basically a way to introduce their mechanics. They dash, they can bash through red walls, they're stopped by white walls, and they kill you if they touch you. Few cutscene skips here.
There's also, if you bounce on them, they turn into this little bat creature, and they explode. But that can be used
which
as a
can send you
boost.
flying. Hexblaze now entering cliff face. And Millay is unraveling. Alright, here we go. Got some Seekers. He's now manipulating the Seekers so they hit the buttons for him, so he can get through a little bit faster.
This is definitely one of the best manipulations of the game, actually. It's probably well
failed an
intended.
ultra strat there, but still making it through okay.
Isn't it well developer intended for the Seekers to actually hit buttons?
It is, and they even made it a little permissive by making their explosions also hit the switches recently.
It's a good thing, and slightly bad.
Definitely adds a lot more tactics to this section.
Blazing through these rooms. Now Millay's going to be on search, which means the search skip.
And now he just skips this entire section. He just skipped a really long maze where he has to get 2 keys by just doing a reverse dash jump through that corridor. It's probably the most important skip to learn in this game. It saves about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Hexblaze just finished up chapter 4.
Fun fact, I learned the search skip very early on in my speed running for this game.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of runners' first strats they learn just because of the time save it gives you. Sort of a taste of what's to come as well. Alright, Millay now moving through the Theo section, the last part of Mirror Temple, where we have to escort Theo and the crystal to the exit. You can't dash while holding Theo, you can only throw him, then dash, and then pick him up again to try to get some speed. So a lot of very complicated movement here.
Yeah, but moving through it, like, no problem.
Ooh, taking a death there after several seconds. Looks like he'll make it through this time. Manipulating Theo and those dash blocks to launch him into the coin, the lock thing. Nice little speed boost there. Had a little trouble at the beginning of Theo, but then commentator's curse.
Yep.
Almost done though. Ooh, did I just see Hexblaze try to go for a double bubble skip? Anyway, he didn't get it. Probably just one attempt. Ooh.
You went... Was that, like, 2 attempts? 3?
Millay in the last Seeker room of Mirror Temple.
I think a little bit
Almost
of trouble,
there.
actually.
And now onto the Pulse room.
This
Fighting
room is
through
probably...
these pulses of energy.
Yeah, it's
And that's it. Millay
an
completed
annoying
Mirror Temple.
I got reflection. So
I think
Millay
that
is
was
going to
a
enter reflection
520
like 3 seconds from now. And
as Hexblaze enters the mirror.
and we've got, it's 3 main mechanics, but oh yeah, 3 main mechanics. The first one's Golden Feather, which you can move in all directions for a short amount of time. And then there's Crush Blocks, which he's probably going to skip the first one, Lake Skip.
Okay, first attempt at Lake Skip failed, and second succeeded. So still saved a little bit of time there.
Crush Blocks, essentially, you attack one of their sides and they start just moving in that direction for a pretty long time, actually. And then there's the bumpers, which just bump you in the direction that you hit them from.
Hexblaze entering the Seeker Gauntlet. Doing some baiting to get them to collect the coins. Ooh, Millay gets crushed in between a rock and a hard place. There, he got the skip this time. Just get that block out of the way before you reach it. Wall bounce off the skinny Kevin.
Oh yeah, I forgot that there's the funny thing about the Kevin blocks.
Yeah, we're supposed to call them Crusher blocks, but everyone just calls them Kevins because we love Kevin.
Soundbite.
Not even using the Kevin block there, just hyper dashing straight across.
It's a good strat. Unfortunate death right there. But doesn't do much to impede in Millay's way.
Taking that feather straight through the transition to save a couple seconds. And Hexblaze just pulled off a perfect search skip. So he's going to be moving on to the rescue phase pretty soon. Millay just went for the bumper boost. If you're holding away from the bumper on the same frame that you hit it, you get an extra boost from it, which allowed him to skip a whole bumper there. Millay now in the last room of hollows.
And we're moving to what comes to be the Battle and Boost, which is another great skip.
Wow. Very close needle thread by Millay on that downward dash there. Here we have more needle threading with these developer-intended skips straight through the purple crystals. This last one's pretty tricky. Ooh, he takes a death there. That's pretty bad. The last one actually needs you to move a little bit while you're inside it, so the setup for it is much more difficult. Go for it again. No problem this time.
It's pretty good. Once you reach a certain point in the game, you actually start becoming very good at needle threading through some of those things.
Right. Some of it you can kind of cheese by lining yourself up with a certain wall that lets you just drop straight through. Oh, Millay going for the battle and boost. Gets caught a little bit on the edge, but still nice boost through that hallway. Starting the battle and fight now. Looks like Hexblaze is having some problem with his controller. That's not good.
Never a good thing.
Hopefully he can work it out. His timer is still running right now.
His timer's still going. Oof.
That's a rough thing to happen during a race.
This is why I enjoy keyboard much better.
Millay making it through these battle and screams no problem. You basically have to knock into her over and over again until she goes to the next room, while she shoots lasers and little fireballs at you.
Yeah, not the best way to
Didn't quite get the Ultra there, but didn't die, so that's nice. And Hexblaze now finishing up Mirror Temple in the Pulse Room.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that Reflection is basically just all story.
Yeah, Reflection is where the main conflict in the story gets worked out.
Yeah.
And Hexblaze done with Mirror Temple. Hopefully, if he has any controller issues still, he'll work them out before he starts. Oh, okay, he started. I guess he feels confident.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You want to be confident.
These races are judged using in-game time, which is not running in between chapters, so if there are any technical issues or you need a bathroom break, that's the time to do it. Alright, Millay now entering the part 2 of the battle line fight. Battle line starts getting a little telekinetic. She starts keeping blocks around, moving them back and forth, so you get these extra environmental cycles in addition to what she's already doing.
Yeah, those cycles are a little annoying, but you get used to them after a little while.
Millay using the momentum from that moving block to give herself the boost she needs to get over that spikes.
And going through these rooms with no problem.
Final room of the battle line fight from Millay here. This game likes to end out a lot of these chapters with very long rooms. And the longer the room is, the more punishing if you die, since it takes a lot more time to get back to where you were. And he's finished, and he's leveled up. You want to explain what a level up means?
Level up means you get a second dash. You and Badeline make up for past mistakes, and she gives you the ability to dash as well as boost you up when you need to.
Right. So we have pink hair now, signifying our second dash. So the next level, the final chapter of the game, the summit, will be designed around having a second dash. So we're going to be seeing a lot more freedom of movement, even more than we've already seen.
It's the main gimmick of the entire chapter.
So if the tile set on Millay's screen looks familiar, it's because this is the Chapter 6 part of Chapter 7. By which I mean to say Chapter 7 has us going through all the different sections of the game we've already seen. And this time you have a second dash, the levels are different, a little more difficult. And basically what's happening now is Madeline, now with her newfound power, the power of friendship with Madeline, will be climbing back up the entire mountain using 2 dashes now and reach the summit.
Anime style story, but it's very good.
500 meters is the Chapter 1 segment. So we have a return now of the traffic blocks, the zippers,
and the springs.
Yep. It's great how also the music in this chapter kind of changes to fit the style of each chapter as we go through it, but still has the theme and melody of the summit. It's very cool.
Yep. Good job to Lena Rain for that.
An excellent soundtrack. All right, we have Hexblaze going through those little purple. Oh, he popped up to get a quick checkpoint there. Smart move. And
Always
he's through
the
it.
smartest move, probably.
All right, Millay finishing up 500 meters, moving on to 1,000. You'll see at the end of each of these meter sections, you hit the purple battle line orb, and she boosts you up finally to the next segment.
Yep, and now moving on to Old Site, correct?
Hexblaze not quite settling up. Ooh. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. He's on the battle line boost block, but looks like he's not going to go for the boost. Or he'll get a smaller one, I guess. Not bad.
Unfortunately, he dies, though.
All right, Millay heading through some dream blocks now. This is the Chapter 2 segment.
Yep.
Are we going to see him hyper out of the dream blocks? Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's actually having a little trouble here. Almost done, though.
Oh, also thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting all these tournaments for us.
Agreed.
So you should probably follow or subscribe to all of their Twitch channels.
Yep, definitely show Speed Gaming some love. Alright, here we have Millay in 1500 meters. Very tricky segment. It's the 2-dash part of the Chapter 3. So we have the dust bunnies again, we have the cycles. We have some very long rooms here. This one in particular that Millay is in right now, very punishing if you die.
Absolutely, definitely. There's also the biggest kind of room skip.
No problem there. Alright, Millay, oh, he went for the triple ultra strat. Didn't quite get it the first time. Let's see if he can get it this time. Ooh, that was close. He got a haircut there, but still made it.
Yeah,
Hexblaze making his way through the battle and fight. Alright, final room of 1500 meters. Let's see how he gets these cycles. Close one there.
but makes it.
Very close ones by Millay there, but he makes it in one go.
This is shaping up to be one of the biggest races so far.
Millay is very skilled, definitely shows.
Absolutely, that's why he's number 8.
He doesn't get as much hype as some of these runners with more name recognition. At least I haven't heard of him, but getting a low 33 in this game is really, really good. And this is good pace too. I'm not sure if he can PB at this point. Oh, missed that auto scroll. Oh, yeah. Didn't quite get the hyperspeed there. Jumped a little bit too late. Hexblaze in part 2 of Battle Line Fight.
I think if he can make the a couple of the Mirror Temple skips, or well, the Mirror Temple section skips, he might PB.
Ooh, that hurt. Millay got the auto scroller skip, but failed the wall bounce to end it off. Alright, he's going for it again, and he gets it this time.
Commentary curse. It's the worst. But we gotta do it.
Yep.
I mean...
Ooh. Millay might be getting a little bit nervy right now. Last auto scroller of the game. Alright, a little skip there. Shave off the last second of it. And Hexblaze has leveled up, and he's going to be finishing up Chapter 6 in just a moment.
Which is not bad for the time that he's boasting as of right now.
No, it's not. It might be difficult for him to PB as well, unless he gets a really good summit, but he won't be too far away.
I'm looking forward to future matches with them.
Definitely a strong contender. Ooh, started off going the wrong way with the bubble. This isn't ARB.
And now we're moving on to the Mirror Temple section, which is...
A lot of very cool skips in this section. Ooh, interesting corner boost there. He got the double wave dash off those dash blocks. Now he's going to go for key skip. 2 neutral jumps, 2 up dashes, and he gets the key without having to use the bottom room. First try, very nice. Hexblaze starting out at the bottom of Summit.
It's one of the hardest shortcuts to do.
Yeah, the timing can be a bit tricky. And if you fail it a couple times, you're already losing time.
Yeah.
Alright, are we going to see a door skip? No, we're not. Millay is going to skip door skip. Nice little door skip there.
Yep. Joke in the community, this run is no longer valid.
That is just a joke, to be clear. Alright, Hexblaze 500 meters. And Millay on the last screen of 2,500 meters, going to be entering the final stage of Summit very soon.
I'm surprised that he didn't go for door skip.
Maybe he didn't practice it. I mean, it's only a second to save. It's easy to die on it.
Yeah, especially with the, what, 3 or 5 pixels difference.
Not an easy trick, and not very much reward for the risk. I think a lot of people are doing it in this tournament just for the fans, because it's sort of a meme skip.
Yeah.
I know that's why I do it.
I think I might do that in the next race that I've got coming up.
Millay did take a couple deaths in this big long room here, which is not good, but now he's finishing it up.
It's probably not going to PB.
Yeah, it's basically impossible to PB at this point. But he can still get probably a 34 or very low 35.
Yeah, which is really good, considering how big this game is. And now moving on to Summit with all the checkpoints. Some of these checkpoints you can skip. It's actually a little faster to do as some of them, and some of them you don't have to do.
Right. So each flag he hits with a little confetti popping out is a checkpoint. If you do miss touching the flag, you do not get that checkpoint, so that's something to take into account. We have downdraft right now. Millay's in downdraft. You see the wind coming down from above. His gravity is increased. He can't jump as high. He can't dash as high, etc.
Yep. And updraft is coming up in this next section, so
yep.
It's jumping much higher.
Wind has changed direction. Yep.
It does help a little. Like, it's a very, very good, well-intended thing by the developers.
Yeah, it. Ooh, I think he skipped the checkpoint, but it's fine. He got the next one. Updraft makes you very floaty. It makes you fall a lot slower. It's needed in some parts. At some parts, you'll see the runners choosing to fall faster by holding down. When that happens, you'll see Madeline get very skinny for a moment.
I think it's just third person blur.
Not going for the neutral jump over the spikes there. That's fine. Just saves a couple seconds.
Couple seconds makes a huge difference when it's very close races, but in this case, it's not very close at all.
Yeah, but they playing it a little bit safe, still moving quickly. I mean, 3,000 meters, the end of Summit, is a pretty tiring part of the run. You've been through a lot, and it can be hard to keep track of some of the more difficult stuff. So I know a lot of runners go for slightly simpler strats here at the end.
Yeah. More common strats when it comes to, like, newer players. Having a little bit of trouble on that cloud.
Axis of Anarchy asks if I'm calling Madeline fat. I would say she has a perfectly normal body shape. Maybe when she's going down quickly, she looks a little anorexic.
I mean,
Hexblaze finishing up 1,500 meters. Oh, Millay takes a death on flag 2.
Because doesn't she get anxiety attacks?
Yes, she does. But she learns to get through it with the power of friendship and self-actualization. Very touching story. Definitely recommend this game to everyone, even if you don't plan to speedrun it. Millay heading up to the final section right here, the flag. Once he touches the flag and skips the cutscene, it's time. Good job, Millay. GG, as they say. 35:29. Probably not a time that he'll be that happy with, but still won the race, so that's nice.
Yep. And
I don't know. I won't tell him whether he should be happy or not. Maybe he hasn't practiced for a while.
Shall we switch the audio? Yes.
All right. We can start following Hexblaze now as he works his way through 2,000 meters. Not even activating those moving blocks there. didn't grab onto it long enough to activate them.
Quite a good race.
Oh yeah, good moves from both runners for sure. Hexblaze in 2,500 meters.
Yep.
And as Millay cleans up, we'll see if he wants to join us or not. And I apologize, Gamzee, but I will probably have to drop off in 5 minutes because I have another race to commentate starting pretty soon.
Alright.
But we might be able to see the ends before I have to drop off.
Yep. I gotcha. Going for key skip, but didn't exactly get it for the first couple of times. Losing a little time off of that.
Still probably gain time comparing to going to underneath.
Yep.
Alright, threads the needle on the third attempt. Door skip. Alright, door skip part 1. Door skip part 2, very nice.
Door skip is probably one of the funniest glitches. Not glitch. Actually, that's just skill.
Ooh. Used up too many dashes there.
Yeah,
Having a little trouble on this final room.
that's alright. Most people do. Especially when so close to finishing the game.
Alright. Under 3,000 meters.
And losing a little bit of time from that loss of the dash.
Jumping a bit too early on that wall bounce. Not getting quite the height he needs. There we go.
Yeah, these wall bounces are a little weird, especially with the with the higher gravity.
Definitely.
It gets a little weird. You get used to it after a while playing this game, but it's most of the time the transition's a little weird. Having a little trouble on this checkpoint here.
Alright. Done with downdraft, now for updraft.
Updraft is Bay.
Cheeky little checkpoint skip. No problem.
I am surprised that I went for 2 back-to-back commentaries. And now that's checkpoint 14 right there, I believe. Yep, coming up on checkpoint 13.
Been a hard time with those horizontal dashes, but gets it eventually. This is one of the more punishing flags of the summit. All right, he's through.
Isn't there also a little meme about checkpoint 13 being the worst checkpoint ever? I think
And
jitters are getting to him again.
I apologize to the watchers, but I need to head out and get ready for my next race.
Alright. Have a good one, Bird.
Good luck, Gamsey, and thanks for co-hosting. And enjoy the tournament, everyone. GG to both runners.
And now we are on checkpoint 7, which is a good checkpoint. It's a weird checkpoint to get to. And we are moving on to checkpoint 6, which is essentially you just fly for a little bit and then go into a no updraft or downdraft section. And this is probably where most runs finish off, because all of the real I guess runs start off horribly and then end off amazing, especially with the last couple of checkpoints. And moving on to, this is checkpoint 2, which is giving him a little bit of a hard time, but he'll make it. And now we're moving on to checkpoint 1, which means that he has essentially finished. But we should probably wait until he reaches the flag, which he does, and done. And so we'll see if we can get a quick interview with either Hexblaze or Millay. If that is possible. Good game to all of the people who played today, Millay and Hexblaze. Good job. No interview? If not, then we should probably close out, unless somebody joins in now. Alright, Hexblaze can't, so I guess we'll have to finish up right now.